Y'all, Cardi B just set the internet on fire and the fallout is already spiraling out of control. What started as a petty jab over album sales has now exploded into one of the dirtiest feuds we have ever seen. Saweetie decided to get slick by clowning Cardi's numbers, pointing out that even with all the hype, Cardi's new project still couldn't outsell Nicki Minaj, and she didn't stop there. Saweetie made it crystal clear that she was riding with Nicki, throwing shade at Cardi's never-ending war with her biggest rival. Now that one move was all it took to light a fuse under Cardi, and she didn't just respond with the usual clapbacks. She reached for the jugular and threatened to leak a tape so scandalous it could end careers and destroy marriages in one blow. According to Cardi, Saweetie hooked up with Offset, and there's a tape to prove it. Y'all, this is not just rap beef, this is a bedroom drama spilling out for the entire world to see. And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, Nicki Minaj has now stepped into the fire. She's publicly backing Saweetie in the middle of a storm, fueling the chaos, making things even more chaotic. Y'all, the girlies are fighting again, and it's about to be a hot mess. So let's break it down. Y'all, not Saweetie siding with Nicki Minaj, talking about that's my best friend, she a real bad bee, but Saweetie should have known better than to get involved in grown adult drama, because now the world knows that for a fact she and Offset were supposedly bumping cooters when he was still married to Cardi. Now don't get me wrong, we've known about Saweetie and Offset allegedly doing a nasty for a while, but there have never been any real confirmations. At the time, Cardi even denied it and dismissed it as nasty rumors, but with Saweetie now taking Nicki's side and throwing shade at Cardi, well, let's just say that Cardi is done keeping the secret. Plus, it also doesn't help that Offset has been extra messy in the divorce proceedings and has been determined to cause as much drama for her as possible. So between Offset being chaotic and Saweetie declaring support for Nicki, let's just say that Cardi is done with the BS. Looks like she is at her wits' end and pregnant no less. But y'all know that Saweetie usually loves to mind her business and doesn't really get involved in drama on social media. But she had us shook when she did a sneaky post and delete on Instagram of a picture of a man that looked like Offset. Fans are saying that it's an old picture of her and Quavo, but the point is, this man looks like Offset. And what made things even sneakier is that she captioned it with the post, "Fight night." Say what? She ended up deleting the picture after a while, but the damage was definitely done. The fact that she posted the picture right when Cardi and Nicki were going at it on Twitter made the situation even worse. From the looks of it, Cardi caught the shade because she took some time to throw shots at Saweetie. She said, "You must have missed me, huh, crazy? Now kiss my feet." She also retweeted this post from a fan that said, "Tell her make a hit. She is in the studio just wasting time." And this was clearly a dig at the fact that Saweetie's music career hasn't been hitting the same recently. But she didn't stop there, because according to reports, she is finally ready to admit that Saweetie's affair with Offset is the real reason that the Migos broke up. And this is huge because, like I said, she was always denying this in the past, even though fans kind of clocked it a while ago. But back when the Migos first broke up, Offset tried to keep quiet about the tension, but Quavo kept slipping in little digs whenever he could, talking about Missy. And it was obvious that Takeoff was stuck in the crossfire between what really would happen and being a part of the mess. But example, in this interview that Takeoff and Quavo did, Quavo took some not so subtle shots at Offset.
Ain't nothing gonna change, so.
So we just stand on loyalty, you know what I mean? We stand on real deal loyalty. And you know, sometimes that shit ain't displayed. And this ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This got something to do with the three brothers. And shit, that is what it is. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tell.
In comparison, this is what Takeoff had to say about the situation.
The only time to tell, but you know, we always family now. Ain't nothing gonna change.
Y'all, RIP to Takeoff, because he was definitely riding for Quavo, but you could tell he was really tangled up in all the drama. He still kept things chill with Offset, even with all the tension in the air. And when the Migos fell out, fans ran wild with theories. Some blamed Offset wanting out of quality control, others pointed to money disputes, but Quavo made it clear this wasn't about contracts or checks, it was about loyalty, which is how we knew that Saweetie and Offset rumors were likely true. The rumors about Offset and Saweetie first came up during Cardi's heated back and forth with blogger Sleaze Mirage, and that's when the alleged affair got thrown out there. Mirage claimed, "Offset slept with Saweetie. Do you really want to discuss husbands?" Well, Cardi immediately shut it down, firing back that the story was made up. "It's all lies." She said, "No, baby, you lying. You making crazy lies, starting stuff and dragging female rappers into it with no receipts. No blogger spoke on this." Now, there's a lot we can say about Miss Cardi and her marriage to Offset, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. Nobody can deny that she didn't work hard to keep things together, but she just couldn't keep Offset's affair with Saweetie under wraps for long, because Quavo himself spoke on it in his song with Takeoff titled Messy, where he rapped, "BF my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the gang, you should have said it. We would have blessed it. So if there's any doubt that he was referring to Saweetie, he even recreated their infamous elevator fight in the video. Now, even though Cardi never addressed the drama after that, there are reports that she secretly got her lick back. She has never been the type to stay quiet when it comes to women tied to Offset. She has a built-in reputation for going after his alleged side pieces, and it's nearly cost her freedom in the past. I know y'all still remember when she was accused of sending people to handle Jade and her sister over Offset's affair, or when she clashed with Cuban Doll online. Sources even claim that Saweetie got caught in the same crossfire with Cardi, allegedly working to get her blackballed. Behind the scenes, Cardi allegedly pushed to get Saweetie blacklisted and went after her whole bag. And that's when many people believe Saweetie fired back by throwing shots and shade at Cardi for not outselling Nicki. But the drama kicked off back in 2022 when news broke that Saweetie was set to jump on the remix of F&F with Glorilla, Lotto, and JT. The song was hyped to be the anthem of the summer, and Saweetie had already laid down her verse and locked it in. All she needed to do was link up with the rest of the girls to shoot the video. Then out of nowhere, Saweetie was cut from the song. No explanation, no warning, just dropped. And what made it even messier was that she was the only one removed. And there was no known beef with her and Gorilla. But fans and the industry insiders couldn't figure out why she was suddenly out, and the questions only kept piling up. Then, just as the rumors were heating up, Glorilla revealed that Cardi B was joining her on the track of Tomorrow too. Suddenly, everything started to make sense. It looked like Saweetie was being cut from the F&F might have been tied to Cardi stepping in on Tomorrow too. Well, the timing was definitely suspicious, and let's be honest, it sounded like something Cardi might pull. If she had gone after Jade and her sister before, and fans figured that she could have manipulated the situation to have Saweetie blackballed as a form of payback. But fans immediately put 2 and 2 together and got 4, and one fan wrote, "So the reason Saweetie was removed from F&F Remix is because she slept with Offset and Cardi knew that, so she basically blackballed her and wouldn't collab with Glorilla unless Saweetie's verse was scrapped. Who's stopping bags now?" And another fan said, "So that's why Cardi made Glorilla take Saweetie off F&F, and in return, she gave Glorilla a free feature." Well, Cardi also threw shade on Twitter, accusing Offset and Quavo of sleeping around, saying, "They be going for anything, but I can't go for none of that." Well, Quavo's caught this sub, and when he and Takeoff went on Drink Champs, they picked Nicki Minaj over Cardi B.
Nicki or Cardi B? Not me, y'all. This is mad. I'm taking a shot. That's sinister legend shit,
I'm gonna say Nicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say the same thing though. That's crazy.
So you said Nicki?
Yeah.
So being that y'all agree, that's a shot. They gotta take a shot.
No doubt Nori knew exactly what he was doing when he asked about Nicki's versus Cardi, and he was straight up stirring the pot. Considering the history between Cardi and Nicki and how much tension there still is, it was a perfect way to light a fire. Well, Takeoff, as usual, seemed like he just wanted to stay out the mess, but Quavo couldn't resist. And let's be real here, at that point, Quavo and Cardi weren't exactly tight, so there was no way he was going to pick her over Nicki, even if he was secretly leaning that way. But that's the Drink Champs for you. They thrive on the drama, and it was no shocker that they brought up Nicki and Cardi's beef. But Quavo was already being shady as F when he named Nicki. Everybody knows that she isn't exactly cool with the Migos or their crew either, so him acting like their besties made it obvious that he was doing it just to get under Cardi's skin. I mean, Nicki even threw shots at him a couple of days ago and blamed him for starting a beef between her and Cardi. She said, "Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career, Takeoff gone. Remember you told me you were Beyonce of the group? I laughed so hard inside. Anyway, pay Offset his alimony, Barney B." Anyways, but back to Cardi and Saweetie. Now, Saweetie is kind of known for minding her business, like I said, but the thing is, when you really deep in it like that, I mean in it, she's also kind of shady too. But her kind of shade is very sneaky, so people don't really clock it right away. And her posting that fight night picture was not the first time that she's been accused of being shady towards Cardi. One memorable moment happened when some Getty image pictures of Cardi at the Vanity Fair Oscars party went viral, and not for any flattering reasons. Fans were quick to point out that she didn't look like her Instagram pics, accusing her of heavy photoshopping and calling her out for being fraud. And things got even messier when Nicki Minaj jumped in on her Twitter, tweeting, "Clock that tea," which people read loud and clear as a dig at Cardi while she was getting dragged online. She followed it up with another jab saying, "Photoshop them bars." Well, keeping the shade just rolling in. And Saweetie jumped out the chance to throw some shade at Cardi, making the drama even hotter and more public. She knows how to land a dig that hits, and she did just that. She posted her own Getty image photos. She captioned them, "She don't need no edits," making her point loud and clear. And yes, y'all, Saweetie knew what she was doing. Timing was everything, and she dropped those photos right when Cardi was already under fire for her looks. And that caption about edits and Photoshop was a calculated move to throw more shade. People got Saweetie's message loud and clear, and they made comments like, "Effing on somebody's husband and clowning them with your beauty is insane. Head barb for real." And she cleared Cardi for real. Remember what I said about Cardi being good at catching subs, right? Well, Cardi caught this shade and tweeted, "I'm not as mean as I could be, and I want people to be more grateful for that." But then Saweetie clowning her during this nasty fight with Nicki, well, looks like Cardi finally lost all sense of goodwill towards Saweetie. And y'all wanna know the crazy part? She's now claiming to allegedly have tapes of Saweetie with Offset in bed and he shared with Cardi when they were still together. And according to reports, she's daring Offset or Saweetie to come after her again and see if she won't leak those videos as petty revenge. And knowing Cardi, she's 100% finna leak them videos and get her lick back if they keep playing. Y'all, the whole situation needs to be thrown in the garbage. But here we are, y'all. A petty jab over album sales blew up into a bedroom drama, blackballing rumors, shady posts, Twitter shade, and a full-blown rap war with Nicki in the mix. Saweetie threw her subtle digs, and Cardi brought the receipts. And Offset, well, he's right in the middle, stirring the mess as usual. And this isn't just rap beef anymore. This is careers, clout, and messy personal lives all spilling out in the public for the world to watch. And fans are watching every move, every post, every tweet, waiting for the next bomb to drop. And with Cardi allegedly holding tapes that could change the game, let's just say the tea is not just hot, it's nuclear. At this point, it ain't safe and nobody can avoid this chaos. Saweetie, Offset, Quavo, Takeoff, Nicki, Cardi, they're all playing the game where the stakes are high and the drama is raw and the receipts are real. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, the saga's far from over, so buckle up, Buttercup, because if you thought that things were messy now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Drop your thoughts and comments below and then check out this